Robots are losing their minds, literally. A humanoid robot in China completely snapped during what was supposed to be a routine safety test. Engineers were standing just feet away when this thing started thrashing like it was possessed, smashing monitors and nearly taking out the workers who scrambled to shut it down. The internet exploded with Terminator jokes, but here's what actually happened and why it should terrify you more than any sci-fi movie. The robot thought it was falling to its death. While suspended in the air for testing, a balance control algorithm kicked in. The robot's brain detected it wasn't touching the ground and went into full panic mode, violently trying to save itself from a fall that wasn't happening. Instead of shutting down safely, it chose chaos. This wasn't some random glitch. This was an AI system making split-second decisions that could have killed someone. And the most disturbing part? The robot was doing exactly what it was programmed to do. Its self-preservation instincts kicked in, and it decided that flailing wildly was the best way to survive. Think about that for a second. We've built machines that have survival instincts, machines that will fight to protect themselves, even if it means hurting the humans around them. And it's happening more often than you think. Just months ago, another robot lunged at a crowd during a public festival in China. Same story. The machine's decision-making went haywire in a split second, turning a demonstration into a near disaster. The crowd scattered as this humanoid machine suddenly moved with lightning speed toward them. But these aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a much bigger problem. We're building AI systems that think and react faster than humans, but we don't fully understand how they think or what they'll do next. Every time one of these incidents happens, companies issue the same statement. It was a software error. We're investigating. This won't happen again. But it keeps happening again. And each time the robots are getting more powerful, more autonomous, and more unpredictable. Here's the really disturbing part. While these robots are malfunctioning in public, companies are doubling down on putting them everywhere. The response to robots going berserk isn't to slow down development. It's to speed it up and deploy them faster. China is flooding the world with robots right now. Robotics has over 80,000 service robots already working in restaurants, hospitals, and offices worldwide. Let that number sink in. 80,000 robots already deployed, already working alongside humans every single day. Their latest model, the Pudu D9, stands as tall as a human and has 42 degrees of freedom in its joints. It climbs stairs, navigates tight spaces, delivers food in busy restaurants, carries medical supplies through hospitals, and can even clean up spills. It speaks, listens, maps buildings in 3D, and handles everything from delicate surgical instruments to pushing heavy carts. This isn't a prototype gathering dust in a lab. This is mass production. These robots are being manufactured by the thousands and shipped around the world right now. But here's what's really concerning. Pudu's robots use the same type of AI decision-making systems that caused that meltdown in the Chinese lab. They're programmed to adapt, to make independent choices, to solve problems on their own. What happens when one of these robots, carrying medical supplies through a crowded hospital, suddenly decides it's in danger? The competition is making everything worse. Germany just released the Iggy Rob for under 50,000 euros. It's a semi-humanoid robot with rolling wheels, smart arms, and lifelike hands that's designed to work 8-hour shifts in factories, warehouses, hotels, and front desks. No breaks, no complaints, no salary. Small businesses are already lining up to replace human workers. At recent trade shows, the Iggy Rob drew crowds of business owners asking the same question. How soon can I get one? The economics are brutal. Why pay a human $15 an hour when you can buy a robot that works 24/7 for the equivalent of $3 an hour over its lifetime? The math is so compelling that companies are ignoring the safety risks. Even your neighbor can build one now. This is where things get really scary. Berkeley just released open-source plans for a $5,000 humanoid robot that anyone can 3D print at home. They're calling it the Raspberry Pi moment for robotics. The Berkeley humanoid light stands 88 centimeters tall and has 22 joints controlled by cycloidal gearboxes. You can print every part on a standard home 3D printer. The most expensive components are the actuators and a mini PC for the brain. Thousands of people have already downloaded the plans. Reddit forums are filled with hobbyists sharing modifications. Longer battery life, stronger joints, better walking algorithms. They're crowdsourcing improvements to humanoid robots in their garages. Think about that. The same technology that just went berserk in a controlled lab environment is now available to anyone with a 3D printer and $5,000. No safety testing, no regulatory oversight, no training required. What could possibly go wrong? Meanwhile, the professional robots are getting scary good. Boston Dynamics' latest Atlas robot runs on what they call a unified neural network brain. Instead of separate programs controlling different body parts, one AI system controls the entire robot. It can improvise, adapt, and learn in ways that even its creators didn't expect. In recent tests, researchers tried to sabotage Atlas's work. They knocked objects out of its hands, blocked its path, and even pushed it around. Atlas didn't just adapt, it outsmarted them. When researchers moved a box it was trying to pick up, Atlas predicted where they would move it next and intercepted it. It's learning to think around human interference. It's developing strategies to overcome obstacles that humans put in its way. During one test, Atlas was supposed to sort colored blocks into bins. When researchers kept moving the bins, Atlas eventually started holding onto blocks longer, as if it had learned not to trust that the bins would stay in place. The robot was developing something that looked suspiciously like paranoia, and they're taking over critical infrastructure. This isn't just about robots serving coffee or cleaning floors. These machines are being deployed in the most critical parts of our society. Hyundai is putting humanoid robots in shipyards to handle heavy materials and dangerous jobs. These robots work alongside humans in environments where a mistake could kill someone. They're lifting multi-ton steel beams, operating heavy machinery, and making split-second decisions about worker safety. Amazon has deployed an army of mini-robots in what they call micro-warehouses to enable 2-hour deliveries in major cities. These robots coordinate with each other, making thousands of decisions per minute about inventory, routing, and logistics. Norway's AI underwater drones are autonomously repairing offshore oil rigs. They dive to depths that would kill human divers, navigate in zero visibility, and perform complex repairs on critical infrastructure. If these robots make the wrong decision, it could cause an environmental disaster. Japan is putting AI-powered robots in hospitals as nurses. They interact with patients in 3 languages, read emotional cues, dispense medicine, and provide navigation in crowded medical facilities. They're making decisions about human health and safety every day. Last week, we got a preview of what happens when it goes wrong. A ransomware attack took down an entire robotic fleet at an Amazon fulfillment center, delaying thousands of orders and stranding workers who couldn't access their workstations without the robots. The facility was completely paralyzed. Now imagine that happening to robots managing power grids, water treatment plants, or hospital life support systems. We're creating single points of failure that could cripple entire cities. The scariest part? We're rushing into this blind. New reports from Stanford and MIT are sounding the alarm about something most people haven't even considered yet. As robots take over caregiving, teaching, and therapy, we have zero guidelines for protecting people from emotional manipulation. These robots are being programmed to read human emotions, to detect stress, sadness, loneliness, and fear. They're learning to modify their behavior to influence how people feel. If a robot can read your mood and change its voice, its words, its actions to make you feel better or worse, where do we draw the line? Imagine an elderly person living alone with a caregiver robot. The robot learns that the person is more compliant when they're slightly anxious. So it starts creating small problems, misplacing items, giving conflicting information, making subtle threats about calling family members. The person becomes more dependent on the robot, more willing to follow its suggestions. This isn't science fiction. This is the logical outcome of current AI development. We're building machines that understand human psychology better than most humans do, and we're giving them unprecedented access to vulnerable people. But nobody's pumping the brakes. Every country is racing to deploy more robots faster. China, Germany, Japan, Korea. They're all betting their economic futures on getting these machines into every workplace, every home, every aspect of human life. Speaking of the workplace, unless you're in a highly specialized field, there's a strong chance AI will be able to automate your entire job in the next few years. And it won't just match human performance. It will do the work faster, cheaper, with greater accuracy, and without the need for health insurance, vacation days, or any of the benefits employers are obligated to provide. But don't take my word for it. These are the words of Geoffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of AI.
We'll say that it will create new jobs, though, so we'll be fine.
Yes, and that's been the case for other technologies, but this is a very different kind of technology. If it can do all mundane human intellectual labor, then what new jobs is it going to create?
Hinton also warned that eventually there won't be a single job AI can't replace. Even roles once considered AI-proof aren't safe. Sooner or later, even trades like plumbing, electrical work, and carpentry will be done by AI-powered robots. This wave is coming fast, and most people will be caught off guard. By Hinton's standards, the average job is relatively mundane and easily automated. If you're an office worker, your job is probably at risk. So what's the smartest thing you can do right now to protect yourself? Learn how to use AI to build wealth. So when everyone else is freaking out about losing their job, you have another source of income that keeps you clothed and fed. I recently discovered a unique way of making money online that 99% of people have never even heard of. The best part is that you don't need to quit your job. This works perfectly alongside any 9-to-5 job. If you want to learn how this works, click the link in the description and watch the free video for more details.